NCAA championships, Oklahoma and Michigan went into their final routines tied. Olivia Troutman with a 9.9375 on floor. Abbey High School needed a 9.85. She got a 9.925 in Michigan. They won their first ever NCAA championship in program history. What a night for the Wolverines. We're getting into the postseason, getting close to the postseason, and with that, we've gone to a ranking called the National Qualifying Score, or NQS. And how that is determined is you take the team's 6 highest scores, 3 of which must be a road score or an away from home score. You drop the highest out of those 6 scores, the 5 remaining scores are averaged, and that is the team's NQS. And that is how they are ranked at the end of the season as you head into the postseason, which we are getting close to, Allie. And that will determine regional seedings and things like that. So an exciting time here. And as we get to the postseason, looking at predictions, one of my favorite parts of all of sports is making predictions. And we're going to look at the Road to Nationals top 10 as they currently sit. Now, obviously, this can change. But as we look at these top 10, you can see Michigan at 7, Oklahoma at number 1. Who do you think could be in that NCAA semifinals, meaning one of the top 8 teams that we might not think of, maybe not a perennial power?
Yeah, it's so hard to pick because there's so many teams that can sneak into that top 8. But one team I have my eye on is Michigan State. I have been so impressed with them. They really don't have a weak event. They're incredibly consistent, and they're ranked top 11 nationally on every single event. And they recently beat Michigan.
Well, you've got Michigan State in the semifinals. I'm going to pick one for the finals, meaning the last 4 teams on the floor. I'm going with Kentucky because they've got all the ingredients. Great vault like Mackenzie Wilson, a great freshman like Delaney Rodriguez, veterans like Bailey Bunn, and they've got a star in Raina Worley. They've got all the ingredients to make it to that last day of the NCAA championships and be in that top 4. They, in my mind, are a dark horse. Well, here's your postseason calendar. March 23rd is conference championships, all on the ESPN networks. And then we go into the NCAA regionals, and it gets real interesting. The top 36 teams qualify. Only 8 of them come out and go to the national championships, which is April 18th and 20th. On ESPN2 and ABC. It is March and April madness in women's gymnastics. We're going to the last rotation here in Oklahoma when we come back. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. John Roethlisberger with Allie Raisman. We are heading into our 4th and final rotation. Oklahoma and Michigan very close to tied after 1 rotation. Oklahoma stretched that lead in the second, and now it's over a point. The number 1 team in the country showing why they are number 1, led by that Reagan Smith 8th career 10.0 on balance beam, a team they are number 1 in the country on. Now Michigan goes to the balance beam here. Certainly with some goals other than winning this competition. We just got done talking about NQS. Important for Michigan to try to maximize that NQS, raise their ranking, puts them in a better seeding heading into regionals. Hopefully gives them a little bit easier road to make that NCAA championship. So every score still means a lot for this Wolverine team.
Something so special and so beautiful about Jenna is she was a walk-on on this team, and for her senior year, Coach Bev Plotke felt that she went back home, worked so hard, and surprised her with a scholarship for her senior year.
Such a great moment. You love those scholarship moments. We see them in a lot of different sports, but she had a special one.
Beautiful back handspring layout. Coach Bev really likes Jenna to start off on this event. Starting off on beam is not easy. It's a lot of pressure. It's very important for Jenna to start this team off on a confident note. So far, she's rock solid. Just the dismount. Back handspring, tuck 1.5. Stuck that. That, in my opinion, was just about as good as she could have done it. Coach Bev also worries that sometimes she gets underscored because she goes up first on this event. But I personally think this should be a really big score because she didn't have any wobbles or mistakes.
We saw some big leadoff routines from these teams. Audrey Davis on beam in the last rotation. Now Jenna Mulligan showing she can do it too for the Michigan Wolverines. And speaking of leadoff spots for Audrey Davis, here she is leading things off on the floor exercise. One of the all-arounders chasing right now Kat Lavasser for that all-around title, just 1/10 behind her teammate.
Beautiful front double twist. The gymnasts have a 4-minute warm-up before they compete on each event, and Coach KJ Kindler says Audrey is one of the few gymnasts that actually has enough endurance to be able to warm up and then quickly rest and have enough time to do her floor routine. Not every gymnast has the endurance to do that. Audrey has beautiful flexibility. 1.5 front bump, front full. Coach KJ is also the choreographer on floor. I think she does a beautiful job with the choreography on this team. Audrey again showing off her consistency throughout this competition. Huge role that she has to play going up first on 3 out of the 4 events. Beautiful, watch her hips open on this front layout full. They just hit routine after routine. It's truly hard to find a mistake when they go up. It's so impressive.
Jenna Mulligan, a 9.9. That is a career high score for her in the leadoff spot. You mentioned Allie looked tremendous. Now Raina Gugino in the 2 spot. We mentioned NQS. Michigan has a chance to raise their NQS. They need higher than a 197 point rotation, which is just about a 9.9 average. Keep that in mind.
Beautiful back handspring layout. Got a lot of height on that. What's impressing me so much about Michigan tonight is their consistency. It's not easy. It can be very intimidating to go up against a team like Oklahoma, but they are not only handling the pressure well, they're thriving in it. Side semi.
Audrey Davis with her own 9.9 to lead off Oklahoma's floor rotation.
Dismount back handspring, 1.5 twist. A little bit off to the side. They're going to take a little bit of a bigger deduction because she stepped off crooked as well. But good routine overall.
Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans tomorrow. The Swimming and Diving Championships continue with the prelims at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Then the championship starts at 5 Eastern. Sign up today at espnplus.com/big-12. Belle Johnson, now the second gymnast to go from Norman, Oklahoma, and Bart Connor Gymnastics, our fellow ESPN commentator, has a gym right here in town. Well, just went over there for a workout, didn't we, Allie? Went right by the gym, maybe later. But here's Belle Johnson.
Front layout into front 1.5. That was beautiful. What I like about that is she took her time and waited to twist a little bit later off in that rotation. Fun floor music. Each gymnast gets to pick their own floor music. They all have their own choreography. Round up back handspring, double tuck.
Belle Johnson, Raina Gugino at 9.85. Gabby Wilson next to go. Taylor's got more on her.
Yeah, Don, we've talked about her leadership, and it's something Beth Flocky saw in her years ago. She actually offered her a captain role as a junior, and Gabby declined. Coach says this was a showcase of how self-aware she is. I asked Gabby what went into that decision. She said to put the team's needs ahead of her own without it affecting her ability. I felt I had further to go in that, and it's made me the captain and leader that I am now as a fifth year.
Thanks, Taylor. Tremendous athletes. Any coach would love to have them on their team, certainly, and Bev relying on them heavily here in 2024.
Gorgeous back handspring layout step out. That was so graceful. Her back handspring layout step out is probably one of the highest ones in the nation. A lot of gymnasts do that series, but not quite like that. Watch the height that she gets. Standing switch leap, standing switch leap. Very difficult. Most gymnasts take a couple of steps into that, but Gabby can do it from standing. Full turn is a requirement on balance beam. Now this dismount is one of the most difficult dismounts that you're going to see in all of college gymnastics. It's a round off double tuck. Huge risk that she takes, but she usually does it so well. Wow. Step on that landing, but she's going to get extra bonus because there's so much difficulty in that. Watch this standing switch leap, beautiful 180 degree, and then she connects it immediately into another switch leap.
Well done from Gabby Wilson. Next up on floor, Reagan Smith. Allie, you've known Reagan Smith for quite some time. In fact, we might have dug up some history between the two of you. I think this was 2015.
Yes, I've known Reagan for so long. It's so fun to be able to watch her compete. This photo was taken in Italy. We've competed international together so many times. So it's so special that I can be here to support her today.
Reagan Smith, an alternate to the team that you were a part of in 2016 that won gold in Rio.
Beautiful rounded back handspring double tuck. I love Reagan's floor music. It's a Taylor Swift music mashup. So fun. Reagan was on the national team for 7 years. I think it really shows when you watch her consistency in her form in her gymnastics here. You can really see how so many years of competing at that high elite level has really helped give her that confidence.
Reagan, the 2017 USA all-around champion. She was #1 in the country, not just college. Out of every gymnast in the United States, she was #1.
Beautiful Wolfel. The judges are looking for horizontal, but she's so flexible and so powerful. Her leg was even more than horizontal. Beautiful. Rounded back handspring double pike. Opened up in that perfectly. The judges shouldn't take anything off for that landing.
Reagan is never short on enthusiasm, is what I love about her.
Round up back handspring double tuck. Doesn't even grab her legs either. Grabbing her legs gives you extra power. Beautiful 1.5 front layout. And then last pass, double pike. Beautiful control on that. Does a 3-pass floor routine. Most gymnasts in college do 2. So I like how she takes the extra risk, and also that requires a lot of extra endurance.
Gabby Wilson at 9.85 matches Raina Gugino's 9.85. Here's JC Vore now on the balance beam. By the way, Belle Johnson for Oklahoma in the 2 spot, a 9.875. Still waiting for Reagan Smith's score.
That handspring layout. A little bit crooked there, but did a good job covering that. If you feel yourself just slightly off on balance beam, because the beam's only 4 inches wide, it's really hard to correct yourself. And then you add nerves on top of that, and it's even more difficult. Come on, front toss. I could see before that skill, she took an extra beat, a deep breath, which I think was really smart after you have that little wobble to kind of collect yourself. Just the dismount. Round off 1.5. Beautiful.
Michigan continuing to battle. Again, scores matter regardless of wins and losses in women's gymnastics, so every routine can impact the postseason for the Wolverines. Reagan Smith, a 9.925 for her beam routine. Now Kat Levasseur next to go. A 9.8 will give her a share of the lead with her teammate Audrey Davis. Let's go back to Taylor.
Well, John, her teammates and coaches light up when they talk about Kat Levasseur making it into the all-around this season. This is an athlete that only competed on vault at NCAAs last year and has made her way into the all-around and a consistent high-level competitor. They said they've known she was capable of it, but all the factors have aligned this season.
Beautiful pull in. Before every meet, Kat likes to write grateful on her hand, and she looks at it before she competes on every event. She says that it just helps her relax and reminds her to be in the moment and to be grateful to be here. What impresses me so much about Kat is she just looks so calm and relaxed. When I'm watching her, I feel like I'm watching her in her absolute best day in practice. Round off 1.5, front half into a straddle jump. That straddle jump is smart because if she's a little off on that landing, she's not going to get a deduction for a step.
What a day for Catherine Levasseur. Just needed a 9.8 to match her teammate for a share of the all-around lead as of now. Still some all-arounders yet to go.
Full twisting, double back. 1.5, front layout half into a straddle jump. That's so difficult, especially when you're so tired at the end of your routine.
So these last three scores for KJ Kindler and the Sooners need to be 9.95 or better, and they will put up a school record 198.7. They just keep getting better, do the Sooners. Carly Bauman now in the 5th spot for the Michigan Wolverines. She follows JC Vores, 9.825.
Carly is so good on this event. She's very consistent. Back handspring layout. Just a slight little waver there. Seesaw jump. Gymnasts have to connect 2 jumps in a row. Split jump into a straddle. Oh, ow. It's a little bit crooked there, but managed to stay on the beam. Sometimes those jump elements, they might look easy, but sometimes those are the ones that give gymnasts the most trouble because you're focusing so much on the next acro series. That's a side semi with straight legs. We don't often see that. Just the dismount, just a small hop backwards, but I think overall Michigan looks really consistent and confident on this event.
We got a men's basketball Saturday triple header on ESPN and the app with 3 crucial conference matchups. First, NC State and number 9 North Carolina are at 4 Eastern. Then Virginia visits number 10 Duke. And finally, number 4 Tennessee heads to number 14 Alabama in our prime time matchup. That should be an outstanding one. In the house, Shea Gillis-Alexander, the Oklahoma City Thunder. You didn't know this, Alec, but I got a pretty mean basketball game.
Do you?
I think I could take him one-on-one, I'm just saying. Faith Torres now on the floor, exercise Kat Levasseur at 9.925, so that record score Influx here, beautiful double layout.
Beautiful, stuck that cold. As I mentioned before, the gymnasts are allowed to take a lunge out of it, but she stuck that cold. So difficult.
Faith needs to be about perfect to catch her teammate Kat Levasseur for the all-around. A 9.975 will tie her for the all-around lead.
What's so impressive about this Oklahoma lineup is that they kind of all compete against each other. Like, just making the lineup on this team is so difficult. They have so much depth. I think that's what makes this team so good, though, is they all push each other to the next level. Front through to a double tuck.
She's number 8 in the country on floor exercise, and she shows you why right there. All-American on the event as well.
Watch this double layout. Her hips are open the entire time. Stuck that cold. Front through to a round off back handspring, double tuck.
Tom Haley, the primary floor exercise coach for the Oklahoma Sooners there in that first shot. Carly Bauman a 9.825. Sierra Brooks now in the anchor spot for the Wolverines. Their low score of a 9.825 is what they want to drop to try to raise that 197.25 just a little bit higher.
Back handspring, layout, layout. Most gymnasts do 2 skills connected. Sierra does 3. It's really difficult to do that, and I love how she added that extra risk in there. And it certainly paid off.
Sierra Brooks, one of the all-around competitors tonight. She cannot catch the leader, Kat Levasseur. Kat will walk away with that all-around title.
Beautiful front toss. So a little bit of a waiver there. I'm impressed with this beam lineup from Michigan. They're showing a lot of confidence and consistency. Just a dismount, back handspring into a double twist. Really hard to do that just from a back handspring. Really shows how strong she is.
Great finish for the Michigan Wolverines. 6 hit routines, and with this exclamation point from Brooks.
Gorgeous back handspring layout, layout. The second layout was even higher than the first one, which is so impressive. Back handspring into a double twist. Most gymnasts do a round off into that, but she can just do it from a back handspring.
So for Oklahoma, the team competition not in question from pretty much the halfway point, certainly through this last rotation, the floor exercise. But Jordan Bowers takes to the floor with a chance to help Oklahoma to a record high score of a 198.7. They've already put up a record high score earlier this season of a 198.675. In order to do that, she will have to get her second 10.0 of her career here on this routine.
I think if anyone can do it, it's Jordan. Coach KJ Kindler says if she could use 2 words to describe Jordan Bowers, it's fire and passion. Beautiful. Front tuck just has enough time to open. You can see it on her face. She is ready for this floor routine.
Struggled a little bit with floor exercise last year. They had to rearrange her floor passes a little bit, and it has just been on point here in 2024.
Gorgeous double pike. A lot of gymnasts do a double pike, but not quite like that. That was so much height. Her toes were pointed in it. I think what makes Jordan so beautiful to watch is not only is her dance very pretty, but you can see the expression in her eyes, the intensity. She really performs this event. Beautiful. after this, she just opens up. It's so high. She has enough time to spot the landing. And watch the height on this, and even her toes are pointed.
But if it's not a perfect score, Allie, is that the moment, that little foot slide on the step back?
Yeah, I think if they're not going to give her a 10, I think the lunge was just a little bit too big. The judges are going to want to see a little bit more control, but that's us being so nitpicky, but we're talking about the best school in the country, so we have to be.
Well, you nailed it. Oklahoma made us do it. When you're that good, you've got to pick out the little things. Kat Levasseur is your all-around champion here in what was an outstanding all-around competition. Here's her highlights.
This was gorgeous. I still think she should have gotten a 10. There was no deduction. Watch this double tuck, knees and toes glued together. Gorgeous beam routine. What an incredible night that Kat has had.
What a night. Taylor is with the all-around champ.
What a night, John. You said it. Kat Levasseur joins me now. Congratulations on the all-around title. Walk me through what kind of success you guys were able to showcase tonight.
I think just going back to all the training that we do, we practice so hard and we work so hard to see all of our hard work pay off. And I have the most incredible teammates doing it by my side, and we get everyone so pumped up, and I'm just super blessed to be here.
I know consistency is a pillar of this program and this team. You guys keep leveling up week after week. What's left for this team?
There's still so much room for improvement. Like, we can still get so much better, and we're just gonna go back into the gym and focus on those little details that we do every day and just get better.
Amazing. Congratulations.
So much.
Never satisfied, John.
Yeah, I was going to say so much more room for improvement, really. You're going to have to show us that later. Well, record set tonight. 49.8 ties a beam record for them. Reagan Smith, we talked about that 8.10. And that NQS, the national qualifying score. All you people at home, now you know what NQS is. You can brag to your neighbors. Well, that's the highest ever in women's gymnastics. They beat their past highest record from last year, that 198.42. Jordan Bowers, by the way, a 9.95 for her final floor score. Well, that's a win for the Oklahoma Sooners. Second highest score in team history, 198.65 for the home team. The Michigan Wolverines, a gutty performance. They put up a 197.325. For Allie Raisman and Taylor Davis and our production crew, so long from Norman. Basketball is coming up.
Liberty